Hey guys, Alex Williamson here with a quick pro tip and the secret history living inside of your aquarium. Today we're going to talk a little bit of quick science for your shrimp. So I have gone ahead and I have decided to get some maple leaves. Now maple leaves aren't ideal, oak leaves are better, mulberry leaves are great, almond leaves and guava or guarana leaves, which actually have caffeine, so you want to make sure that they're actually breaking down and already kind of dissolved of their sugars and active enzymes in them, and you want to make sure that they're dark. And so what this is it's basically a substrate for your tank if you have shrimp or snails, and this will allow good good bacteria and fungi and algae to grow on it, as well as teeny tiny plankton and protease life forms to live on it, and then the shrimp eat that. And even though we can't see it with our eyes, that's what they eat. They're filter feeders, especially the smaller Neocaridina shrimp and things like that. So the best way to treat them, if you have them, oak leaves are better because they have a specific bacteria and fungi on them that actually makes them more acidic, and they have high tannins. But maple leaves will do in a pinch, and we have those around here. We had them on hand. It's been snowing. The frost has kind of killed any sort of mold that would have been growing on them, and I'm not too worried about that aspect of it. If I notice like white fuzzy stuff growing, then you're going to pull it out of the tank. But so you get that ready, you boil it, you can put it in the microwave if you want. That's another way to treat things. But then you're going to put it in your fish tank, and you can sandwich it into a few layers, and you just put it at the bottom and you let it gather algae and you let it gather good bacteria, and the fish and shrimp and things like that will add to the system their waste, which will then spawn more life forms like the good bacteria that's in your tank that you cycle into your tank. And with shrimp, they really like to have, let me walk over to the shrimp tank. And by the way, just love me some Seattle sunsets. It's beautiful out. Thought I'd share that with you real quick. But on the way to the shrimp tank, specifically the shrimp tank, I'm going to do this because it's a newer tank. I've got a manzanita wood piece here that's actually just driftwood from, it's driftwood off the coast of Washington, and it is in there just to provide tannins. Then I wrap some Java moss around it just to start kind of like a carpet or a log effect. It's kind of clumping together rather than spreading out, so we'll have to see what happens there. But I'm going to put the leaf litter in the tank down below in here, and that will give them a good stable source of food. Just like the filter, the sponge filter on the covering the intake on the back of the tank filter, it's just another place where also like a bubble air stone or a sponge filter with an air line running through it. All great things for your shrimp tank. Different layers of substrate so that you get different types of bacteria and different types of algae growing. That's all great because they're going to be pulling nutrients out of there. But the leaves, in theory, will also help beyond just tannins and goodies growing on them. You'll also get acidification going on. So there's specific bacteria that's not present in the water that makes water more brackish or harder or more like brown or black water, as they call it in fish keeping. And that occurs on the leaves. So instead of spending money on almond leaves, I know they're like $1 at some stores now because it's becoming more popular. Go ahead and get those. That's fine. But you can use any non-abrasive leaf, and that's kind of your call because there could be chemicals in a leaf if it's treated outside by pesticides or fertilizers. But pretty much if it's on a ginormous tree, you know, that's way high up, like alder or maple, any broadleaf tree, and it falls down and it's lost its color, it's lost its chloroform, or chlorophyll, sorry, it's not going knocking people out. It's not taking handkerchiefs as an oak tree and coming up behind people and knocking them out with its chlorophyll. So But you take that, you put it in the tank, and it's going to start a different cycle that you might not already have. And that's a tannin cycle. And that is a cycle that you need the dead leaves for, because if they are still green or if they have color in them, then they're going to also have sugars and starches in them. Now, the ones that are here will have cellulose and starch in them too, but we can kind of start as a fresh slate. You're not going to put something into your system that's potentially caustic or harmful, and you're pretty safe with a lot of the broadleaf trees once they have lost their color, fallen, dried out, and then you boil them. That's a lot of stuff to do to the leaf, but it makes for a healthy, happy shrimp, and that's just a little pro tip on how to do it yourself. Save yourself a little bit of money. You can do the whole tank if you want, but just watch your RO, or your KH and your GH levels while you're taking care of all that. Make sure that it doesn't go off the charts. But now that the leaf has turned darker, I'm going to take it off boiling in this dechlorinated water, and we'll let that cool down just a tad, and then we'll be putting it into the fish tank and letting the shrimp munch on it. I'll probably cut off the stem there just because it's hardy enough that there may still be something in there, whether eggs or algae or something that is less than desirable. Even though boiling it should kill it, I don't want to risk it, so just get rid of any like thicker chunky parts of the leaves, and you should be fine. And now we've got a leaf, or two actually, that are ready to go. Now these are from Japanese maples, and some trees are known to have properties that are not the best, like make you itchy and things, and so avoid any of those kind of trees. Not to say that they wouldn't work in your tank, but I just wouldn't risk it. I'd stick with something that we know is okay, like oak and maple, and just give it a once over. Make sure that it doesn't have any mildew or anything funky growing on it that's going to be an issue. These are two different types of maple trees that I brought in. Now this one has not actually fallen apart and gotten dry to its fullest extent, but I think we're going to give it a try just to see what happens. This is a Japanese maple versus a broadleaf maple that grows across North America everywhere. So like the kind you would tap for syrup. So it has a lot of sugars in it while it's alive, and that's why you want to make sure that you boil it and that you have dried it out, and that it's not still full of juices and chlorophyll and things like that. So, all right, guys, that's the pro tip today, and I hope you have a good one, and I hope your shrimp are happy and healthy and doing well. Wish you the best of luck. I'm just looking here, and I can see there's something growing right in the creases here, and that makes me a little leery. You can see that there's some sort of fungi on that leaf probably. Now, boiling it probably killed it, but I'm just going to be careful with that and probably just take the ends off of it and try a little piece first. Always want to try a little piece of something if it's new. And then once you know, like, oh, that tree's consistently been great for me, then go from there and start using it. So, all right, guys, have a good day, and I'll talk to you the next video. Happy New Year's again. Bye.